weekly wisdom. I just realized this is number 423 every single week. I've been a little inconsistent on days. And why am I sitting here with this kid? I'll tell you in a second. But let me ask you the question. Do you think being naive can help your success? And I believe the answer is yes. When I look back at my past, when I look back at what I've gone through, sometimes wherever you are in life right now, sometimes there's been so many no's, so many things that have gone wrong that you know too much. Your ego was built too much. I don't mean ego like you have a big ego. Like the egoic mind wants to protect you and says, play small, play it safe, don't go after your dreams. It's scary out there because life kind of eats you up. And that's why today I wanted to introduce you to Ryan. He's the youngest kid on my staff. He's 17 years old. Right now, Ryan runs my entire Facebook marketing. All the ads you see for my book, Millionaire Success Habits, and all that stuff, all is run by a 17-year-old kid. And today, just having a conversation, and for this weekly wisdom, I thought there's so many lessons we can learn from this kid kicking ass. You know how many people we had that wanted to apply for this job, and I hired you.
Yep, that's really cool. Yeah.
So it's good to have you here, Ryan. He's doing an amazing job.
It.
He's worked hard to be here. But I want to try to grab some knowledge from you, being naive, being young, being young, and how we can help people see a bigger future. And hey, everybody, I got the camera turned the other way. Jeremy's here holding this, so please put your comment below. Share this if you like it. I'll read every single one of your messages, and soon I'll flip the camera around and I'll answer and say hey to everybody. So people watching right now.
Yeah.
There's people watching right now that might be in real estate and they want to go that next level, or they want to start their own business, or they have a business that's not making the money they want and they want to scale it. So what advice can you give through your eyes, through the 17 years being on this earth? I mean, you were
super long, right?
You were in 8th grade just a few years ago. It's insane. But what do you see some of the things that allowed you to step up and be different than the people around you even?
Yeah, it was just like you said, being naive. Like when you're 17 or when you're 15, when I first kind of started wanting to do things, you think everything's going to work. You're like, oh, I'm going to make $1 million. Oh, I'm going to make $1 million. So you just like try everything and you're like so sure that it's going to work that you're not afraid to do it. And when you're not afraid to do it, you fail along the way a lot of times. I know it's easier for me to fail. I'm 17. I don't have to pay the bills as much as some of you guys out there who have families. But when you're not afraid to fail, you try stuff. And when you try stuff, even though most of it doesn't work, some of it does. You finally get something that starts clicking. And when you get something that starts clicking, another thing starts clicking. And it's like this spiraling downhill effect of one thing leads to another, And you fail a lot along the way. And again, it's easier for me. But it's just that naivety to be willing to try and go out there and just do stuff and thinking it's going to work and believing it's going to work, even if it has no chance of working.
Look, I did not prompt him to say any of this. And if you're one of my DG family members who's been following me, I tell it all the time. Like, we can focus on anything we want. And sometimes, being young, you might not realize there's people watching right now that have tried a couple things and without realizing they got in a hypnotic rhythm of being scared, being a little fearful, or not even playing full out. Like you dabble a little, or even you go in a little, but then you back out for safety. And when I say being naive, when I look back at 17, I did my first real estate deal. I knocked on 1 million doors, and the first person that gave me a deal with no money down, I just took it because I was naive. I'm like, I didn't think if the deal falls through, I'll lose all my money, or if I could go broke, I could do all those things. I was young and dumb and hungry.
Just being kind of stupid a little bit.
So like, why not try to find that 17-year-old person inside of you? Because if you're going to go after it, you might as well focus on it being a win. I mean, this kid, let me just tell you a quick story about him. I was at a live event speaking. He came up and said hi to me, realized that I lived in the same city as him. He's like, hey, I watched you climbing the mountain. Can I go with you? 5 o'clock in the morning, he shows up, climbs the mountain, up Camelback Mountain with me. I spent a half hour with this kid, his positive attitude, his win attitude, the work ethic he has. I hired him by the time we got down the mountain. Okay? Yep. So it's because he had no fear of even meeting me in the mountain and talking to me at 17 years old and saying, I'd love to be a part of it, because he wasn't afraid, a little bit naive. How can we rob that as 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s? How can you find that naivety, if that's how you say it? Like, be more naive and just go for it. You can't win when you play small. You can't win on the sidelines. And if you fail, you get the chance to fail, learn, and fail forward. What makes you different than some of your friends?
I think it's almost like I think things through less. Like I almost like I can have a big like future plan or whatever, but like I don't think about the little details in terms of getting there. Like, oh, how am I going to make this campaign and this work and the details of the tech guy? I'm just like, I'm going to do this thing, and I just like you
learn
do
as
it.
you go.
You just like, you learn as you go. Because I know lots of people, my friends are like, oh, I'm going to do this awesome thing. And they're like, but I don't know how to do this. And I don't know how to do this. And what if this happens? And what if this happens? Versus I'm just kind of go out and there go, whatever, it's going to work.
So let me ask you
try
something. You're 17,
Yeah.
you have peers, you have friends. You told me, even because we've climbed the mountain many more times, you told me you have a lot of friends you get frustrated with because they say they want to do what you're doing. They say they want to make more money. They don't want to go to college. They want to be in their own business. And you lay out a path for them.
Yeah.
And then later you come back to me, God, it's so frustrating. I gave him the path, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Do you know, that's a pattern that can happen forever. I'm not saying you watching have done that, but tell me that doesn't happen in life as an adult. This is a 17-year-old kid frustrated with his friends who wants to show, hey, look at all this money I'm making. Look at the job I have, the life I have. He works on his own time. He dresses the way he wants. At 17, he's set for life. And that's amazing because he put the work in, he studied, and he took action, and he wasn't scared to go after it. And I guess one more question, and then we'll go here. I think we've given a lot of value here. Thank you. But do you think they don't do it because it seems like too much work, they don't know where to start, they're scared, or do you feel like sometimes we get in this like hypnotic rhythm or like this path that everybody's like, go to 12th grade, then go to college and follow the path and don't step off the path? Like, did you ever have anybody in your life, I know the answer is, be critical of you? Parents?
Not once.
No, never?
Not once. Yeah, absolutely. I had my entire life since like second grade, I personally struggled with school. I didn't like it, but everyone's like, you have to do this, 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 and you're a dreamer, and you're this, and you're that, and it's just like, it was like, I just pushed it for a long time, and finally I was just like, I'm done with that. But there's always people who are just like on the other side. Even now, when I feel like I'm doing pretty well. Obviously, there's a lot more I want to accomplish, but I feel like I'm doing pretty well. There's just people who are just like, you're gonna fail, you're not going to college. So there's always gonna be people telling you you're gonna fail. So might as well just go for it, because no matter what you do, you're never going to get anywhere if you're listening.
And let me ask you something, whatever age you are, that was advice from a 17-year-old kid. It never changes. We know that. There's going to be people who doubt you. You're watching me right now. There's people in your life that if they knew you watched my weekly wisdoms or got my book or in my real estate course or my success course, like, you're a dreamer, just go back and get a job. If they're not living the life you want, then why should we listen to them? Yeah. Ryan's had so many people tell him why he's going wrong, why he's not going to win, how he's going to fail. He's the happiest kid I know. He's in a good mood every day. He exercises 7 days a week. He's making more money, and he's going to make more money by the end of this year than most people 35 years old, or twice that. He's has the money, the time, the freedom, the happiness. Who in the world could tell him he's doing wrong? Right? But the world will, because he didn't follow the mold. Now, I'm challenging you today to be a little more naive. I'm challenging you to break the mold this week. I'm challenging you to look and use the lessons from a kid. I know life hasn't kicked his ass, but that's why he's going for it, right? And if we can't learn from that, then what can we learn from? Any last words?
One last thing.
And if you're liking this, or you know a kid, I'm challenging you right now.
Share it with some other kid out there. Share it with your nephew.
Share it with every family member. Share this with any kid you know. Share it with relatives. Get this message out there. Young kids need this message.
Absolutely.
He's killing it. He's doing amazing. Thanks. And, he doesn't fit the mold. That's okay. This is a new world, a new society. People are making money from the phone that we're doing this Facebook Live video on, or his laptop. That's where the world is going. Encourage someone young to go out there and do it. Encourage someone young or old that this is the time and you can do it. So if you like this, share this. Let me see the thumbs and the likes go by, the thumbs up and the likes go by. Any last words?
And last thing, we talked about naivety and being naive and just going for it, but you can't just go for it kind of half doing it. You have to really try really hard. So it's like when I would go for things, even though I was 100% confident they would work and 90% of the time they would fail, I put so much freaking effort into it. Like, I was up all night, every night, reading on marketing and writing a sales letter every day for 6 months and just putting in tons and tons of work. And then I had all this work behind me, and then my naivety combined, and again, I failed, but when those two things combine, usually you're going to have a breakthrough.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he did put the work in. It's time for you to put the work in too, and be a little naive. If you don't have my book, here it is today, because I'm in my office. This is the one you're working on so much.
Yes.
Millionaire Success Habits. You can go to Dean's free book, deansfreebook.com, and get a free copy. The hardcover, we'll send it to you. Just cover the shipping and handling. This book is on fire. It's 5-star reviews on Amazon. It's selling like crazy. I mean, thanks to some of the work you're doing, we are selling so many books, and the reviews are amazing. So if you don't have a copy, go grab one at deansfreebook.com. Thanks for watching this weekly wisdom, and we'll talk to you soon. Leave a comment. Talk to you later.